And it's when you guys watch the recording, is it smoother on the recording still? Uh-oh. Or is it choppy there as well?
I didn't watch
I
any
think that
recordings.
is smooth.
Okay. So we have naked left here. We're not running naked this way this week. However, we can still learn from some of the routes we're running. Trying to get Mazan in here. Mazan in here yet? Yes. Shema. Okay, so naked left. Again, we're not running it this way this week, but still we can learn some stuff from the routes. We're going to be getting a lot of similar looks, especially when we have 11 personnel and we have a tight end in the game. What they like to do is they like to bring one of their safeties down to protect against the run, because we have 6 guys to block their 6 guys. And so what they're trying to do is they're trying to bring this safety into the box to help with a potential run threat. So here, I want to pause it right now. So Mazan, again, I want to continue to remind you, because we will be running naked this week. If you have a crossing route, like when we run Hawaii, any sort of crossing route, guys, deep crossing route. Remember, we're not expecting the ball until we get to the opposite hash, no matter what is going on back here with me. All right. Obviously, I don't have the best time in the world to throw this ball, but we want to try to get into this space, opposite hash area, before we're expecting the ball. I want you guys to be focused on finding that space, because if you're looking back at me, it's a lot harder to figure out where you are on the field in the middle of your route. So we still get a positive gain out of this. Great, that's great. We always want that. Here again, we have 11 personnel. 11 personnel. Here's this safety that's walking down over the tight end. Okay, so let's say, and what that means is that if this safety is walking down here, you've got a one-on-one matchup here with your corner. Okay, and that's a really good thing. We want to have those one-on-one matchups with no safety help. Fly right. Great block by Rafael to go and cut that linebacker. Remember, guys, outside run. Force these guys inside so that we can outrun their angle that they take. Banat, I'd like to see you try and go get that safety if you can. Just try to get your hands on whoever you can, but ideally that's safety, because he's the biggest threat to make the tackle for you, right? This corner will follow you to that safety, especially if you are just running full speed towards that safety. We can't control what happens in the backfield with the line. Somebody have a question? Whoops.
No question.
Because we're doing it, we really do a good job. If Camille is able to, right here at right guard, if he's able to get a little bit of a better push, Igor does a great job of cutting his man. Rafael does a great job of cutting his man. And if we can force this man to go inside, makes his angle more difficult as well, because now you have these two guys running into each other. And Mark can try to outrun the angle that's being taken on this defensive end. Cap left, 3rd and long. Press man, guys. Anticipate that this week. It's very likely that they will give us that look. So just like when I was talking to you guys yesterday about having a plan against cover 1 or a man-to-man look, we want to have a plan of like, 3 different releases that we can give to these guys. And one of you guys is going to be manned up with a linebacker here. So that should be just like a blessing for you right now, Mazan, that you have one-on-one with a linebacker. And know that right now with his inside leverage, you can really stem him inside and then break back out behind him before running your middle post. Let's see what you do here. What I'd like to see you do is, rather than, I know it's choppy, so I'm trying to, rather than taking these 2 choppy steps at first, Mazan, to attack this defender, attack him vertically inside and then swim around him. He has inside leverage for a reason, because he doesn't want to allow you to go inside. He wants to force you outside because he knows he has safety help. So get him to take those extra couple steps inside if he has that leverage on you, and then break back out. Since no one follows Bartek here, we can get the ball out quick and we get a first down. But I would really like to see us have a much smoother release by number 1 and number 2 against this pressed look.
What about the release on number 1? Should it be outside release?
So that's a tough one, because curl routes aren't the best route to run against cover 1. I would say you want to go outside. You want to try to take an outside release on that, and then swim back underneath. So you're getting outside release here. You're not restacking. You're trying to stay level with him, because if you restack, then you can't come back to the ball. So you're kind of tricking him into thinking that he has you. And then once you get to your landmark, now this line is like right on the sideline. I think ideally you want that line to be like just outside the numbers when you're running level with him. So really use your body weight to lean against him. Really lean up against him to help him stay off balanced, because he doesn't know when you're going to break. You know when you're going to break. And then when you get to the top of your route, you're using that right hand to push him off and swim by to come back to the ball.
What about cutting the split? Should I cut the split
I think that you could, but I think your split right now is fine, because you're inside of the college numbers here, and it's just a matter of spacing. So if you feel like you need more space in order to get a better release outside, I would say you could maybe cut it down like one more step, but not much more than that.
Okay.
Let's see Adi's route here. Adi, I think really what you need to continue to work on is you need to continue to work on committing to one decision. So reading what this defender is doing. Right here in this situation, he's playing you more underneath. Whoops, did I just spaz it out? There we go. He's playing you more underneath. And rather than just jogging and not really being in a position to receive the ball, I feel like you're just really undecided on what route you're running, because maybe you don't think you're going to get the ball. But if he's not aggressively bailing out, you're taking off and you're running that outlet up the seam to try to hold this safety. But we have to get out of the habit of jogging routes, not thinking we're getting the ball. Because we may get into a situation where we read on the sideline that this defender has no regard for your outlet route, Adi. And because you keep blowing by this defender, we get back to the sideline and we go, hey, let's look these safeties off and get them to flow to the trips receiver side. And then you have Adi running free down the middle, down the seam. But we can't find that out. Hear? What's up? What did you say? I'm assuming your internet's just choppy. So if when you get it back, I'll answer your question if you have one. Okay, bomber. This is good, Mazan. I think you had messaged me and said that my explanation to getting to the middle of the field was made a little bit more sense. We still want to, when we're attacking the middle of the field, even on bomber, I know coach tends to draw it to where like you're just going and attacking that far side safety or that opposite side safety. Whoops. But we're going to get inside of this backer here and then split the safeties to put this safety into a bind. The safety on the right side of the field. Because we have that running back coming out here, right? And we want this middle read route or this middle post route to impact this safety enough to go, oh shoot, I got to go pick that up. And that's exactly what happens here. So I think you stay skinny enough, but I would like, rather than your angle to be going this way, I'd like your angle to be more up the field and splitting pre-snap read.
Wycisz się, Adi, bo hałasujesz.
Bana, good job getting inside of your defender. Inside run, seal them outside. Inside run, seal them outside. Wow, that's a bad drawing. Seal them outside. Mazan, inside run, seal him outside. I think Mazan, you do a good job here. Adi, if you know for a fact that he is in man-to-man, like he is right here, okay, and you decide to run him off, that does not mean that you come off the ball, right, out of your release and immediately look back. Sell the fade, get this guy out of the play, if that's the decision you're going to make. Mazan, I can see why maybe you feel like you need to break out here because you're feeling like maybe you have leverage, but this is just another issue of depth. We need to make sure that we're getting to our depth on our routes. If we have a 10-yard route, that doesn't mean that we can run it at 6 or 7. It messes up the timing of the play and when we're trying to high-low the read. So here's your high, here's your low. Now, I get rid of the ball quick because I've got pressure, right? But that doesn't mean that that should impact your decision or your route. Ideally, we want to hit this ball slightly outside of the hash. If we don't have time, I have to throw it earlier. But try your best here to continue pushing this man upfield, 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 upfield. I think you do a good job of getting outside of him. And I know he's a bigger guy, he's a linebacker, but continue to use your body weight and your leverage to lean on this man inside with your right shoulder to force him up the field a little bit more so that we can break at 10.
Okay.
I thought that was a good block. They said it was a blind side. I mean, when you're watching the film, he's looking at you. So they made the call, whatever, it happens. But you know, if I'm a coach, honestly, I'm telling you to do it again because he's looking at you. I would just say maybe try to block him with your hands or just get in his way. But it was a reactive play by you. And you know, you made the decision. I'm not mad at you for it. Bo, remember guys, if we need to look into our playbook more, if we need to, you know, study our routes. This can be a really, really big play for us this week, the RPO, when we're running bow, because what they like to do is Mazan, are you still here right now?
Yes.
Okay, so how many guys right now are in the box? How many guys?
6.
6 men in the box. So my job right now is to read this man. Okay, if he commits to the run, you're my guy. Adi's my guy. All right, I have to then progress to the slant and the read route. Make a little choppy. And the read route. Now, how I'd like you to run this, Mazan, because you have a linebacker here, is run this just like follow, where you kind of take that little outside release and then send it underneath him. Cross his face, and that's where you should be expecting to get the ball. Now we get a gain here, right? But if you catch this slant, it's potentially an 8-yard gain instead of a 3-yard gain. And when you're behind the sticks like this, right? Because we have a penalty, those extra yards that we can get on that first down conversion to then make it maybe 2nd and 10, right, is a lot better than 2nd and 15, right? And when we're playing good teams like this is exactly what I talked about on Monday when we were watching film. Those little plays, you keep adding them up, and it makes a really big difference. And so we want to start adding those little plays up to create an advantage for ourselves rather than creating a disadvantage for ourselves. Cross right. Adi, we've already gotten on you about this. We had I believe this week we had the skinny post. This week we're just right back to regular cross. So you're still running a fade. It's a mandatory outside release. This is the same 2-on-2 matchup that we saw against Leipzig and that we're seeing against here, where these two defenders, the corner and the boundary safety, are responsible for number 2, and then the corner responsible for number 1. However, this type of defense that they're showing right now, this 2-on-2 look, right, they're still reading me. I have to read the corner. Because we have the out by number 2, and we have the fade by number 1. So it's our job, X's and Z's, to run this defender out of the play. We have to get him out of the play. You are the most important component or part of this concept. So we cannot make these mistakes where we're running inside and running here, which is basically a 7-yard post, allowing this defender to keep his eyes inside, read this out route, and thank goodness he didn't pick the ball off. This should not happen. We cannot allow this to happen against teams like this, against any team. We're so much better than that, and this is just a mental mistake. And I just want to make that as clear as possible, because this ball should be completed to Bartek here. He creates enough separation from the safety, but because we take this inside release and then try to cross the face on this post and only make it at 7 yards, you are no longer a vertical threat to this guy. I want to see you running at this defender like you've been running at Darius at practice, sprinting vertically as fast as you possibly can with your head down, selling vertical the entire way. No looking back. Do not look back at the ball until you are at least like 20 yards down the field.
You hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I had some issues.
Mazan, same thing here for the crossing route. We are not expecting the ball here. We are not expecting the ball here. Opposite hash, opposite hash, opposite hash. This slows you down. You make a great, you weave through the defense phenomenally. It looks great. But then as soon as you look back at me, you're slowing yourself down and you're not figuring out where that space is that I'm going to throw you the ball. This is where you're expecting to receive this pass if the crossing route is the route that ends up being open. We get really fortunate here, guys. Really fortunate that they can't come up with the interception. Under.
How far we should be on the crosser route?
We should be about 15 yards, 12 to 15 yards, I would say. So if Mazan continues to come across, you know, maybe 16.
Mm-hmm.
But really, guys, what the reason why there's a space in between like your depth. So when I say 12 to 15, that's because the zones change, right? So if your eyes are in the backfield and they're looking at me, you can't tell where that space is. I will find you and I will adjust my throw to where you found your space, right? Because if, let's say, corner bails, right? He gets out because Adi does a great job of running vertically and getting this defender, the corner, out of the play. This safety makes a great jump on the out route, right? You're looking for that space right behind this safety. And that can be anywhere between 12 to 15 yards. So in this situation, he's a little bit further back. So ideally, when you're looking at this, you're looking for where the space is. Now the space is a little bit more over here. So it's okay for you to push it a little bit deeper. Does that answer your question, Camille?
Yeah.
Okay. Trips, we have a cover 3 look, single high safety. Here's the second safety. He's in the box, getting ready to help out with the run. And guys, when I want to go back to like the little mistakes. So first down, right? Let's say we complete the slant and we get it right back to where we started, 2nd and 10. Okay. Then we run cross. Then we run cross, right? It's 2nd and 10 and we run cross. Adi runs his vertical or his deep skinny post correctly, and Bartek is open. That's a 10-yard gain. Now we have a first down. Instead, we've made 2 silly mental mistakes, and it's still 3rd and 15. Do you guys understand how we can prevent these situations from happening by making sure that we're doing our responsibilities the best we can? It's little shit like this, guys. It's little shit that's separating, that is causing us right now to be 3 and 4 and frustrated, right? Instead of being 5 and 2 or 6 and 1. Little stuff. Adi, again, we have under. I'd say your split is okay. Maybe it could be a little bit closer. You're looking back at the ball and you haven't even crossed the first hash yet. You got no idea what he's going to do because you're looking at me and you're worried about what's happening with pressure. That is not your responsibility. Get across the field. We're going to run under this week. We're going to run shallow drags this week. We're going to run the high lows. We need to make sure that we are sprinting across the field so that we can get to the opposite hash faster. If your eyes are across the field at your landmark, right? All this stuff happening right here, all the pressure, it won't matter because you're running full speed and getting over there on time and getting there in time for me to throw you the ball without getting sacked. Now, obviously the middle of the field is technically pre-snap, since there's one high safety, middle of the field is closed. But guys, when you're running the middle read, right, you really want to get a feel for the safety that's over you. You want to get a feel for the safety that's over you, and you want to try to impact him the best you can. All right. And so Bartek, what I would like to see you do is attack a little bit more vertically before getting over, rather than kind of rounding it and then getting to the opposite hash at like a 10-yard depth. Attack vertically, attack vertically, attack vertically. And if he starts over pursuing you, this backer, right, like he does here, if you keep attacking this, you might be the guy that I hit. However, because we start to break into the middle of the field at a 5-yard depth, you cover yourself. If we attack more vertically, it gets this man out of the play for the seam as well. Banat, good job coming back to the ball. I think this is a great example of needing to run a streak read. It's 3rd and long. Adi, what is Banat's defender doing here as Banat runs at him vertically?
Bail.
He's bailing, right? Keep your eyes on that defender so that you know what decision you need to make. I got to throw a better ball here so that Banat can keep his feet. Who knows? Maybe if he's able to stay up, he's able to miss that tackle from the corner, and we're able to make a bigger play. Timeout. We've gone over this play before. We have Stitch here. Here's our 2-on-2 matchup. I guarantee you that we're going to see this look again. Okay. Another issue of depth, right? We have Stitch called. A reminder, if you are off the ball, try to be as close to on the ball as you can while still technically being off the ball. It helps you get to your depth faster, right? If we're lining up 2 to 3 yards off of the ball instead of 1 yard off of the ball, that's 1 to 2 extra yards that you have to run. Sometimes that split second makes the difference in getting a 2-yard gain like we do here on a route or on a concept that we should be getting a minimum of 6 yards. Again, 2nd and 8 because of that 2-yard gain on first down versus 2nd and 4 because of that 6-yard gain we get on first down. Get your depth. Make sure you're getting your depth. He's bailing, right? If we attack more vertically here, you got even more space. I think you do a good job here of turning outside, Mazan, but then commit to going outside. We do not want to break back in because that's where all the traffic is, right? As soon as we catch hitch routes, guys, we should be breaking back outside because Banat does a great job of going to then block his man, right? And Banat, what you should be thinking right now is if the inside hitch gets caught, this is now an outside run. Seal him inside. Does that make sense?
Yes, totally.
Because you have him here. You're engaged, right? This man is intimidated of you. You put up 170 on him. He knows you can play, right? So he's already going to have that hesitation when he's playing against you. And Mazan, if you just commit to that, who knows what can happen? You've made so many guys miss after catching the ball that I would be willing to bet that you could potentially score on a play like this if Banat takes a good angle here, because there's no way that he is going to be able to get around that and catch you. Does that make sense to you, Mazan?
Yes.
Again, little stuff, guys, little stuff. So that's like that's 3 plays in our last 5, I think. 3 plays in our last 5 plays where we've made tiny little mistakes, right, that could have put us in completely different situations on the field. You can see our depth on the right side. We've got Vic and Bartek in the game. Bartek, all I'd like to see you do is, since you have a linebacker here, man, attack him vertically. Run at him with speed. Full head of steam, man. Full head of steam. I think Vic does a good job of attacking vertically. Really good first 3 steps out of his break. Gets him just about to his depth. Maybe a half yard short. Catch the hitch, get outside. Catch the hitch, get outside. Catch out routes, get outside. I know Coach went over this in film. Guys, we're in 20 personnel now, and they're treating this the same exact way. This safety is cheating into the box on the side of our fullback, or earlier where our tight end would have otherwise been, helping out with the run. We can't have this. We cannot have this. We might as well be playing with 9 players on this play. We're so much better than that. Inside run, Mazan, you can cheat in a little bit if the angle to get to the man you need to block is too difficult. You can cheat in a little bit. It will help you seal him outside and keep him from making a break to the ball. Vic, I'd like to see you do the same thing. And ideally, who is the more dangerous threat in this situation, the corner or the safety for the Z receiver?
Safety is close.
Safety, right? So same kind of thing. Can we go and block that man? If he just goes flying in there and there's no way you can get to him, the angle you take to try to get to that safety is going to put you in a much better position to seal your corner outside. Please stop me too, guys, if you guys have any questions. Okay, here's the safety walking down. This time he's on the opposite side of where our fullback is. That's okay. We see it early. We have flood called. Mandatory outside release here. We cannot continue to make these mistakes of not taking a mandatory outside release when that is our responsibility. We get lucky on this play. Mazan, what I'd like to see you do, especially since he has inside leverage on you right now, based on where you're lined up on the hash and where this man is lined up on the hash, I'd like to see you just attack his outside shoulder here so that you can lean on him and then break out. Sorry, not at 5 yards, but at 10. Attack his outside shoulder, right? If he over pursues you, right, and he just flies out, then you're no longer the guy that I'm throwing to. But if he flies out and tries to get underneath you, now Conrad's my guy. Now the flat's the route that I hit. So here, because you attack him inside, he's able to keep his eyes in the backfield. If you attack him outside, you can potentially get him to flip his hips and get his eyes facing the sideline, which then takes his eyes away from Conrad. Same exact concept with the mandatory outside release with the outside fade. Gets this defender to get his eyes towards the sideline and away from the play. Now Conrad's my guy, and that's who I'm throwing it to. Our responsibilities, when we do them correctly, oftentimes open up other routes. And we have to remember that. We have 2 inside releases. Both defenders keep their eyes in on the backfield. And it puts us in a more dangerous spot. Whoops, what did I do? Damn, it keeps spazzing out. Seal him inside. Seal him inside. Let Conrad do the rest. Or have the running back cut up. If he sees that hole, he cuts up, and there's your play. We got a great 5-yard gain on first down. Excellent job by the running back. Push. So should I have hit Bartek here? 100%. This is on me that I missed this throw. This is a first down throw right here. But what I would like to see is I'd like to see Bartek be a little sharper out of his break. So as he stops here, this is his depth. He's gotten to 6 yards. Don't let yourself drift upfield because now you're drifting into the dig. Remember, guys, 10-yard dig, not 7, not 8, not 6, not 9, 10. I would prefer that you even push it farther if that's where your steps take you rather than cutting it short, because we have to impact this safety to think that we could potentially be a vertical threat. I've talked to Banat a lot about this route because he's taken a lot of hard hits on the dig routes over the middle, and a lot of it has to do with the depth of his route. By not running it 10 to 12 yards, you're no longer a vertical threat, which allows this safety to jump and play more underneath because he sees no vertical threat. Vic does an excellent job of impacting the flat defender here. And I want to ask you guys, is number 1, number 2, or number 3, who is the flat defender in this situation with a single high safety and 2 off corners? Do we know?
I'd say number 2.
Number 2, right? Because if we look at this situation pre-snap, what coverage are we thinking that they're in right now? Pre-snap coverage.
3 Monday.
Cover 3, right? Middle safety, first deep third corner, second deep third corner, which would then make this strong safety here that comes into the box. That's one of my flat defenders. And then this linebacker right here is my second flat defender. So Vic does an excellent job of getting outside of him to try to get him to flip his hips and get out of the lane for the hitch route. The shallow drag will bring these linebackers in enough to open the hitch route. Just be sharper out of that break. Get to your depth. Pyramid left. I think we've cleaned this up a little bit more, guys, with our shallow drags and getting across a little more smoothly. And we also know we're not running the corner post anymore. So Banat, you're just getting those guys out of there, right? You're just running with speed and you're just trying to take both of these defenders with you so that we have a one-on-one matchup here like we do with a defensive lineman in this situation and our running back. We will take a defensive lineman playing match coverage with a running back all day. And Banat, if you keep going here, right, I know you make a mistake here. We've already talked about that in previous meetings. So much more space for Phil to then continue running up the field, right? Now he doesn't have a defender here to make a play. Number 23 is more likely closer to the hash, which again creates a much bigger play here. Now we get a first down, right? But if this play is a 20-yard gain instead of a 10-yard gain, it's much better. Excuse me just for a second, guys. I just need to pee really quick. Be right back. Okay. Fly right. Outside zone right. Outside zone right. So, Adi, what should be the responsibility of the Z receiver right here?
Push him inside.
Yep, push him inside, right? Get that outside angle on him and push him inside. Now, obviously, we don't want him to like just have like this free release, right? So we want to be able to get him to take more of like this angle here rather than being able to just like slip underneath you and then be able to get back to containing the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we cannot control what happens up front with our linemen, but we can control what our responsibilities are. Mazan, I think this is an excellent job here, right? You know the ball is going the opposite way. You're sealing this defender and keeping him away from getting over to the play. Excellent job here. Stitch, same exact 2-on-2 situation over here. Now this safety, I believe, is a different player because they've had to change their personnel due to losing a couple guys. Make sure we're attacking vertically. This is a better job of attacking vertically. We get to our depth here, but we don't want to allow ourselves to drift out of our break, sharp out of our break, right? Mazan, here, Bartek is 2 yards further than you are, right? 2 yards further than you are. Everybody should be at the same depth on this play.
I have a question.
Yes.
I know this is a short passing play, but in this situation with this defensive look, should we expect quarters coverage or something else? Because I've only seen them like go deep.
You said should we expect quarters coverage?
Yeah, like they just or should we treat this like off men?
I would treat this more so like off man because that's why they have 2 guys over 2, right? On this side of the field, that's more of a quarters look there.
Mm-hmm.
That's more of a quarters look. But they're reading my footwork. That's why what they're trying to do is they're trying to play more of that catch technique that I talk about. You guys remember it's basically you guys want to treat this as the same look as Frankfurt gives us when they have 5 guys across the field, right? Mm-hmm. They're playing the same kind of technique. And so the more we attack out of our break vertically, the more they have to respect that and create more space in case you do go vertical, right? Because they eventually get their eyes on you like they do here, right? And you've created enough space. Banat, I think you do an excellent job of attacking vertically. That's plenty of space for me to get you the ball. Plenty. Right? If I throw that ball the same time that Bartek gets the ball, that's space for you. That's a 6-yard, 7-yard game for you as well. I would treat it more like man. but they're trying to play underneath you, and they're trying to catch you. So they're trying to jump short routes if they can. Same situation. Now he's coming up a little bit closer because he's realizing, okay, they're taking advantage of this defense that we're playing. This is still treating this as like a 2-on-2 look because there's just two guys over you. Depth, 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 right? So Bana, I think what you have a post here. Let's see when you break it. I'd say push just a little bit more. So rather than it being a 5-step post, turn it into a 7-step post and see if you can get this guy to flip his hips by attacking his outside shoulder. As soon as he flips his hips that way, then you can cross underneath. If you're attacking his outside shoulder, right, and you know you can get past his outside shoulder with speed, that's when you continue to go outside and then stay skinny up the field. Does that make sense for your route?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Bartek.
But are we gonna go back?
Go ahead.
Are we gonna go back to post, or always stay on fade outside release?
As of right now, if I see this, if we have cross called here, right, and we have this look, I would like to run a post, and I would probably just remind you of it when we're in the game. So I'll just, I'll give the post sign, the fist to my forehead, and I'll wait for your head nod to make sure you've acknowledged it. But as of right now, I believe that we are still running the fade. It's something we can adjust to, and we can make an adjustment in the game if we need to. But I think more importantly with this play here, Bartek, all I ask of you is if he tries to catch you like he does here, he's just sitting there, he's trying to catch you, right? Run into him. Adi did a really great job of that on Tuesday. He was running a shake route against D-Rob, and he finally dipped his shoulder into D-Rob, and D-Rob got knocked back like 2 to 3 yards, which then created space for Adi to be open on his shake route. Bartek, if you keep attacking him vertically, you just run into him, right? He can't put hands on you past 5 yards. So he's basically defenseless here. And it creates that separation that we need. And it also helps you slow down to break down into your route because you've made contact with your defender. So rather than rolling into it and allowing him to play underneath like he's trying to here, right there, right, he's right on you. If you bump him, it creates that separation you need. It helps you get to your depth, and it helps us just be a little bit more open for me to get you the ball. Obviously, we cannot control what's happening here, where we have 2 defensive linemen coming free, right? So that can't affect the depth of your guys' routes. Mazan again, eyes on me once you're at the opposite hash. Find out where your space needs to be in order to get that ball. Colts right switch. I think this is the one I messed up. Oh, no, we got it. So again, we can't control if I got a guy in my face off of a 3-step drop, right? Just as I plant, I have somebody right in my face. It's tough to be accurate in that situation. Let's see your steps here, Bana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would like to see you try to speed cut out of this. So rather than breaking down here, right, 1, 2, 3, right? It's just a 1-foot plant and break. 1-foot plant and break. And it'll help you to stay in that position rather than the position you're in here where you're sitting in the chair. Make sure those nose over toes helps us get out of our break better. Because remember on Colts, if we have free access here with the out route, we want to take it. And here, Banat, I think he tried to play underneath you a lot of the game, right?
Yeah.
So what happened later in the game? We hit 2 deep shots on him, right? And so that's communication that I want you to have with me on the sideline, right? When we come back to the sideline after a drive and you're going, hey, Lucas, 23 is playing underneath me again. He's not bailing, right? And he's jumping stuff. So we can hit him on a stutter go, right? Just like we tried against Cologne. We can hit him on a little quick out and up or something, right? And we can get him to bite on something because he's playing underneath. He has no safety help. The safety's here, right? So if he wants to play underneath and try to be greedy to get interceptions, we can take advantage of his underneath coverage.
All right.
So to the Colts side now, pre-snap, what coverage are they in right now, guys? I want to ask Mazan. Do you know is Mazan still here, or did his phone die? Looks like his phone might have died. What coverage are we in right now pre-snap? What do you guys think?
3.
Cover 3, right? So on the Colts side, we have a curl flat concept. When we're running curl flat, what defender are we trying to impact?
Flat defender.
Flat defender. Adi, who is the flat defender in this situation? Number 1 or number 2?
Number 2.
Number 2, right? So when we're running this curl route, we want to attack that flat defender. We want to attack his leverage. Right, so Mazan, what I'd like to see you do is I want to see you try to push this flat defender out as much as possible with your route and stay up that push, right? So you don't need to come far inside because then it allows this middle hook defender to guard you. If we continue to push this defender out, right, not only does it screen for the flat route, but it also keeps you away from this middle hook defender. Creates a bigger zone for you. Lastly, we need to be sharper out of our break. We cannot allow ourselves to drift upfield out of our break, especially on curl routes or dig routes where we need to stay coming back to the ball on a curl or flat down the line on a dig. This will be the last play we go over, guys, and then I hope to see as many of you as possible at Chopper Bar, so I'm getting hungry. We got follow.
I saw that coach put a new bowl route. Maybe we can do it.
Yes, bow, yeah. We're running bow out of 11 personnel, and we can go over that really quickly after this play if you'd like, if you want to understand it a little bit better.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so last play here for this situation. This is a good play to end on because they're showing a different defense here. Pre-snap, guys. Oops, stop. Pre-snap, what coverage could they potentially be in? How many high safeties first to start?
2 safeties.
2 high safeties. Okay, so out of the 2 zone coverages that we've seen all season, what are the 2 zone coverages that they could possibly be in right now?
I say cover 4 is more probable.
Yep, I would say cover 4 is more probable as well. All right. Right now, this corner is showing more of a cover 4 or a cover 2 look, Banat?
Say again.
This corner right here, number 23 over you, over the X, is he showing pre-snap more of a cover 4 technique or a cover 2 technique?
Cover 4.
Cover 4.
He's deeper.
What about this corner?
It looks like off man, but
so
really
we're not sure yet, right? He's bailing.
Okay, so it's 4.
And so to me, it's 4, right? And I'm just trying to give you guys information to be able to look at the defense, right? And go, okay, I see 2 high safeties. Both corners are off, right? The corner over me is definitely off, right? That's telling me that it's very likely cover 4. So when you know what they're in pre-snap, it helps you run your route because you know what their technique should be, what their rules are. You know he has a deep quarter of the field, so you know if you attack him vertically, he's going to bail. Same with this corner. If you see 2 high safeties, the corner is off, you're sensing that it could be more of a cover 4 look. It gives you more of an idea of what to expect him to do. If both these guys are up here playing more of a cover 2 look, and you see 2 high safeties, you're going, okay, he's in cover 2. I know what his rules are. I know what his responsibilities are. Now I have a better plan on how to attack him. Mazan, you're great at running this route. You set up your defenders really well when you're running the follow. This is a great play. Maybe I throw the ball a little bit behind you, but I want you to do your best to continue as you catch the ball, continue going. Catch the ball, continue going. Split these guys. Right? Don't slow yourself down. You are best when you are running fast after you catch that ball. You are best when you are running fast. Banat, I think that you can be more explosive here out of your break. Be as explosive as possible with your hitch routes, your read routes, your 4-step out routes, guys. Any sort of short route, you want to be as explosive as possible, especially when you have off looks like we do here. Vic, follow left. We should be running a corner, correct?
Shake.
Well, if you're the number 2 receiver, you no longer have a shake, you have a corner route. So again, guys, if we're unsure about certain things, make sure that we're studying these plays. Let me go to the Frankfurt film, or I'll go to the, I want to go to the home page really quick. This will be the last thing I go over because Camille asked for it. This should be a really big play for us this week, guys. Really big play. Trips right, yo, bow left, or trips left, yo, bow right. And what we're trying to do here is we're trying to impact this linebacker here based on how the safety plays the 3 receiver side. So you're going to see in a second why we want to impact this defender here. For whatever reason, they're playing more of a cover 3 look, okay? And they bring this safety down, but they ignore the tight end in the seam. And this safety is not aggressive enough to the play in order to make a play on the ball. So we're reading this defender here. I'm reading this defender here with the tight end, and you can see how he slips by him. He slips by him. And we can turn a little RPO into a potential 10-plus yard gain if we can get this guy to come in and commit to the run like he does there, right? They give it here, and he's one of the guys that helps makes the play. But I think we see it next time. We can see it again from this angle here. Reading him, and then this tight end just slips right by him, and we can throw that ball there. I think this is where they actually do hit it. He sucks in, There's your throw. 15 yards on an RPO. 15 yards on an RPO. Now, what do we have by the H and the Z? We have a slant and a read route. So it's just like follow. Just like follow for you guys. It's slant and a read route. On the backside, for now, we're running a fade. But I can give you a slant if we start to see pursuit, or he bails with the tight end. But this safety has to go over to the middle of the field like he does here, right? And then we have all this space to run the slant. Do you guys understand how and why we are going to be running this play? Any questions on it?
No, I think it's clear.
Pretty easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. No final questions? Are we all good? About anything?
7:30 today.
7:30. I'm about to get dressed and head over there. You guys, I hope to see as many of you guys there as possible.
I'll try to make it there.
All right, guys. I'll if I don't see you tonight, I'll see you tomorrow at practice. Take care, guys.
Okay.